Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mike, host of the free iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike, but that's not why I'm here today. This is another Saving Savvy episode, this time talking about the LG 900G cell phone, which is also sold as the LG GW300 cell phone in Asia and Europe. And this in the States is offered by Net10 and its sister company, Straight Talk. So I actually did this whole thing once before, and unfortunately when I played it back it was almost 20 minutes. I'm going to try to be a little bit shorter this time. So is this phone a smartphone? Well, let's look at a different smartphone. This is an Android phone. This phone currently retails, if you buy it outright, for about $400. It was more a few months ago. And this has a gigahertz processor, an 8 gigabyte little flash drive on the inside, and it runs all sorts of sophisticated apps. If we could open this up and look at the guts of this phone, what you would find is that it probably runs just a regular cell phone processor and only has 14 or 15 megabytes, not gigabytes, of memory to operate, but that works fine. This phone also has a little camera, and you'll see what these engineers have done is they've really tried to pick the cheapest but the best of the cheap to put this phone together. So it has just a 2 megapixel regular cell phone type camera, no autofocus, no flash, but it takes pretty decent pictures. So I took a few pictures here. I know you probably can't see them real well, and I do, and that's a goofy picture of me. But the pictures are nice, sharp, and clear, and really fine for a camera of this caliber. This also takes video. Video is very low resolution, 176 by 144. That's QCIF format. So the video is only good for like a multimedia message. You would never want to record a wedding with this or something. They've put a lot of nice features in here. You have a dedicated camera button, which is really very nice. On this side, it does take an SD, mini SD, or I guess that's micro SD card, but not the high capacity, so only a 4 gigabyte card maximum. That's still plenty big for most functions. You're maybe not going to put your entire music collection on here, but you could certainly put a lot of music on here. Little lanyard hole, and they've nicely put in a standard type USB port up here, not a proprietary one. So let's say if you're on the road and your car charger breaks or something, you can go to any Walmart and probably most gas stations and get a replacement. And likewise, they were thoughtful to put a standard 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. That's like what you would use with most headsets, as compared to some weird dongle or something you have to use. You have the standard BlackBerry style keyboard up front. These keys are slightly larger than, let's say, on a similar Samsung phone that Net10 sells, which makes it that much nicer. They have good travel and they feel very nice to press. Your keypad's integrated in here. And then you have this row of hard and soft keys up here. Kind of a retro look. Not bad. The center part here is your D-ring, which is your total navigation system, because this is not a touch screen. Phone is 100% genuine plastic, so look out for scratches. So you'll probably want to, if you keep this phone around, you're going to probably want some sort of screen protector on here. If we power up the phone, okay, well, I didn't have my phone on, so I had to power it up. So now we have the phone powered up, and you can see that it's a nice clear 2.4-inch display. It's 320 by 420, or 320 by 240 pixels, which is plenty clear. It's not a retinal display, but it's not bad at all. And you can change this background. This is actually a photograph of clouds that I took, but you can use any kind of background that you want, and you can customize the screen in all sorts of ways by putting little widgets. I have a little calendar widget on here. You can also do things like change the background colors for higher contrast and that sort of thing. If you get into the menu system, it's going to look very much like a cell phone menu, and it's going to have a lot of those same functions. But again, they've kind of been tricked up a little bit to make them more functional. So you have a WAP browser. The WAP browser is 2G. The phone is just a 2G phone, and it really works quite well for mobile type web pages. And you can get web pages that are mobile for things like MSN, Amazon, eBay, Facebook, stock quotes, Weather Channel, whatever. They all come in these mobile web pages. And actually, with the mobile pages, it tends to load as quickly as regular pages do with my fancy 3G phone. So unless you're looking at flash content, which this would not do well, or certainly would not do YouTube, but just those simple mobile pages, you're going to get a good web experience. It has the standard features in it. You have a multimedia center, which also includes things like a voice recorder and an FM radio, which is really kind of nice. So there's a little FM radio in it that you can use. You also have your standard tools, which include things like alarms and calculators and converters, and that's like you'd have on a regular cell phone. They work just fine. And then you have a contact list. Contacts will hold 1,000 different contacts, a lot of different fields, very sophisticated. I think the contact list is great. Problem is it does not sync with something like Outlook, but you can export the file so you can at least save a copy of it, and maybe if you're smarter than me, figure out how to integrate that into your calendar. I don't know how to do that. And it has actually a very nice calendar function too, which has to-do lists and memos and those sorts of things. Again, the calendar list does not sync, but you can export like a data file of that and at least save that copy if you wish to do that, so you're not stuck if you lose your phone. And that actually works pretty well. One thing I wanted to mention about the settings is a lot of different customizable settings. You can set all sorts of ringtone profiles and vibrate and that sort of thing, and set different screen styles. But you also have Bluetooth 2.1, which is really nice. Now, I remember the early days of Bluetooth, and I remember struggling trying to get an earpiece to work with a particular cell phone. And you had to get just certain brands, and they had to be approved, and it was just a nightmare. Well, Bluetooth has really gone a long way, and this phone has this 2.1, so it's super easy to pair like a little Bluetooth earphone with it. It's also super easy to pair stereo Bluetooth phones. These are Motorola phones. They're very inexpensive. They work pretty well. And I was even able to very easily connect it to my Mac computer and transfer files back and forth using just the Bluetooth connection. Really easy, really nice. No problems doing that. So what do I think of this phone? Is it really a smartphone like this super duper Android phone? I would say no, it's not. But would I recommend this phone? I absolutely would. I think it's a great phone that meets the needs of what most people want in a cell phone. It's not something that's going to dazzle your friends, but it has all this stuff from usable camera to a nice keyboard to some extra functions. And this does take Java apps. Now, what's a Java app? Well, Java is a programming, or it's a platform that runs on top of the operating system in this phone, and you can actually download applications from places like getjar.com, and they're mostly free as far as I can tell. So I have like a different web browser. I have Opera Mini on here. I also have like a little flashlight function that turns the screen into a white screen for a flashlight. I have some mail apps for mail functioning, and I have like Google and Gmail and Hotmail, and I have some games and different things on here too. So there's lots of different things that you might find useful that you can load on if you choose to do that. So good phone, recommended. Net10 or Straight Talk. Try to figure out which plan works best for you. If you're a heavy user, probably Straight Talk. If you're a moderate to light user, you might be surprised, probably Net10. And have a great day. Give my podcast a listen. Take care.